10,
Oh.
and a 9,
Oh.
and an 8,
Oh.
7,
Salmon.
6,
Zero.
5,
Oh.
4,
Yeah.
3,
Oh.
2. Y'all in.
Thank you guys for tuning in again for another exciting conversation on the Table podcast. I am one of your gracious and favored host, KO. This is
A very, very, very happy Laker fan.
Spot Collins. Yeah, go Lakers. And
I'm
this
your
is
ungracious, unfavored host, Rob.
Rob, Racetrack Rob.
Lakers.
Yes, the Lakers have
Go
won,
big, go big, go
even though you know
He's an avid.
I foresaw this.
He's
you
an
know.
avid. The series is rigged.
Laker truther. I'm a league truther. Okay.
You always think so. The Super
It's
Bowl,
all
it's always rigged.
rigged, bro.
It's
There's too
all
much money involved for it not to be. I'm sorry.
I'm big on
Not all of it, but just
98.7265% of it.
yeah. They just you don't have to.
Rigged.
No, we just talk to like certain players. Hey, you missed this shot or you dropped this ball
And I
at,
won't
at
kill
a
your
crucial
family.
point, and then you'll get $100,000 on top of whatever you make tonight.
And I won't blow.
And your daughter gets to live.
I won't blow up your house.
And
With
we
you
won't-
in it.
And we won't devour your children with the lizard people.
And
Uh,
we'll let your children go from our black side.
And we won't sacrifice your kids to the owl god.
and the dark hand won't stalk your family for the rest of
Eternity and forever and ever. Amen. What? Nothing?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
No, nothing.
I don't know. I believe they did it fair and square. I don't know. I don't care. We're the champions. We are the champions.
It don't change that fact.
Mhm.
We still the champs.
No asterisk. I don't
We're the
care.
champs.
It's the same as everybody else. Laker gang. Shout out to the Lakers. Anybody else needs a special shout out? I think something else happened.
What else happened? What else has happened since the last time we talked? Of note, other than Hunter Biden's emails being leaked.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, dude, so the Republicans have delved into historic level of hypocrisy, and
Mhm.
the Democrats have showed like record level naivety by thinking that the Republicans weren't going to try and force through Amy Coney Barrett, Supreme Court justice, after they blocked Mayor Garland for over a year and said that, and while trying to pretend that they weren't going to, that it was like against the norms to try and institute a Supreme Court justice on the last year of a presidency's term, and then completely just threw that out the window and then just tried to force her in within like the last couple weeks of Trump being in office. Like, that is incredibly hypocritical. But, it's just our judicial system just evaporating away. Hey, good week, though.
Good week.
Lakers won.
Shout out to the Lakes.
I'm happy.
I was paying loose attention to that. I didn't really I saw the headlines, but I didn't really go into it. I was just like, okay, something's going on with the Supreme Court
Bro,
right now.
I was so upset about that the Laker game was the shot glass of alcohol that I was continuing to drink in the flaming living room of my country as I go, this is fine. This is totally fine. We're good.
Meanwhile, I registered to vote.
You gonna vote?
Hey.
I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but at least I want the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ability that I can if I want
You have
to.
the choice.
Yeah.
I, ladies and gentlemen, take this as a win. I was happy. I was there. I was excited. When I found out I got a little too close, he had to tell me to back off. He was like, come on, man. Just look.
Hey, move.
I'm not going to finish it if you
Move.
if you don't calm
Stop
down.
touching me.
I take this as a win.
I was just like, yeah. Why not? I didn't decide if I was going to vote yet. But if I do, I don't want to get there like, yeah, you didn't register. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that as all the great black ancestors are looking down upon Spot from the spiritual plane, sobbing that he does not vote, that as he registered,
Except for my
just-
great grand uncle Reggie, like nigga, don't vote.
as he registered, and they're just sitting there silent, just
You're
go, just as he clicked the little button on the website, they just go, no, like just for a little bit. They're just like, and we're just right there. We're just at that moment, of like, what's he gonna do next? You know,
Are you gonna vote?
So
Will
we'll
he?
see. I personally, again, I see that as a win.
I was just like, you know what? Why not? And then, just in case, they can use that as a marketing campaign. If he's registered to vote, yeah,
It's like a system that triggers like an alarm when a certain person like registers to vote.
hey, if he's registered to vote, I'd be in that commercial. Yo, look, if I'm registered to vote,
Then you could vote.
you really have no excuse.
Oh man, and that was technically this week. Oh man, I found out that there is a explicit system set up in campaigns to deter people from voting, not just to
Something like 50% of America doesn't vote. Probably more. Probably a little more.
Yeah, and apparently it is a growing strategy of the Republican Party to try and get people not to vote, not necessarily not to vote for them, like they
Just not vote at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like to literally to like sit into more kind of like an apathetic position.
And I feel like that's a
just
very
oh, yeah, just
democratic
like let's not vote at all.
thing. I don't feel like that's a really Republican strategy either. I feel like that's a very democratic strategy.
Feel like it is.
Mm-hmm.
I
To
feel
like put
like-
money towards like, hey, if you don't know who to vote for, just don't vote.
Mm-hmm.
Republicans would be more like, no, vote. Like even if you don't know who to vote
I
for,
feel
at
like
least
the
go out and vote.
Democrats are more like vote, and the Republicans are more doing what Rob was saying because they have like their core people,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't advertise to certain people who they know that they're not going to get that vote. Like they'll just go for their base and just keep strengthening the base.
Well, I do think it's kind of interesting. I mean, I do think I'm right. So I do think that, and I do think that
I do think I'm right.
I do think the data is pointing towards the Democratic side.
Well, the
pretty
science speaks for
clearly.
itself, motherfucker.
But
I'm sorry.
nonetheless, I think I kind of feel for your experience of like seeing the Republican Party, because I feel like if you are in the Republican space, if you're in the more conservative space, they tell you to vote. They're like, yeah, let's vote, or these liberals are going to change the country. They get like, I feel like Republicans and conservatives understand how to hold on to power through, and when I say understand that, I mean just like their behaviors as a culture is more geared towards actually holding on to power and actually being connected with behaviors that are like, this is how we actually change the world in a way that we want to. This is how we stop it.
change
This is
it.
how we do it. Stop them gays from marrying. Sorry, my bad. But anyway.
Stop the gays from screwing. No, inappropriate.
No, too far. All right, all
Too
right.
far?
Kale's like, nah, that's too hard for the GOP. But
Excuse me while I dial it back just a little bit.
fine. We'll
I
get
mean,
a we'll
that's
get
on-
a
that's
we'll
on
get
their
a
agenda.
we'll get a conservative in here to
That's not what we
vociferously
want.
push back against everything that I'm saying. But
I know all my conservatives.
I
are
feel like that's part
country.
of their platform. They don't want their anti-gay marriage or whatever.
Mhm.
yeah.
Barely one gay screwing. So these political questions you said you had.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, gotta hear this.
I wanted to talk about
Bernie Sanders. No, sorry.
how Bernie Sanders got screwed over last time by the Democratic Party
Yes,
in their
sir.
primaries. No, just like I want to talk about
That's a wound we won't reopen.
yes. I want to talk about identity politics and what we think the definition of identity politics is, and whether or not we're against its use in politics, whether we're for it or against it.
I'll go first.
I
We could go around and talk about what we think the definition of it is, or we could look it up, or we could let Rob jump the gun.
Nope, Rob got it.
Rob-
Rob got it.
Rob, take it away.
Rob got
I'm
it.
sorry, bro. You just look so comfortable. And like I was literally looking at you, like I was looking at the word suiting up, getting ready to go to work to like to convey the meaning of what it is that you were thinking, and I was just like, oh no, take this from him, Rob.
Just still, yes,
good.
Embrace it.
Embrace the dark side. Steal it, Rob. Take his essence.
I'm sorry, I'll tone it down. That was obnoxious.
That was hilarious. That was funny.
No, I guess for me, so we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but for me, identity politics is like it's almost like a phenomenon of the it's an aspect of politics, and politics is always about power and how it flows through a system. It could be people, it can be animals, it can be, so this can be Zootopia, and they got their little mayor and stuff like that. Why? Because there's still a power structure of some kind of, some kind of gradient in society, or some kind of like unequal distribution of either like talent or resource acquisition or an ability to do something. And because of that, you're going to have politics. Now, the identity politics, the identity aspect of it is just literally like, if you are a thing that has like a bunch of aspects of your identity that's important, then you're going to start to group up with other people who share those things. And that, I think that kind of super broad, almost like technical definition of manifests itself into a bunch of different ways that, like, for example, in America, I think a lot of people have a pretty negative connotation when they think of identity politics. I think a lot of times people may think of like almost like identity politics is kind of like a underhanded thing that the left tends to use towards the right. I've kind of noticed that people tend not to think of like issues of like racism or anything like that is like so much of identity politics, but more like pushing back against racism, maybe more of identity politics, or things of like sexual orientation or gender identity and stuff like that. So I feel like it's one of those things that it's like a technical academic thing, but then you also have like people's common conception of it, because they only interact with it so much. When they'll like hear, they'll have like an interaction with someone will cut them off, they'll see somebody doing something crazy out in society, and then they'll hear someone else link that word with it. But most people aren't in like a sociology academic setting, dealing with it like that. So that's I feel like it can, because of that, I feel like there can be a lot of mixed messaging sometimes on which identity politics people are talking about, and how that intersects with politics and current issues and all that.
That's why I
stuff.
wanted to look up the definition.
Yeah.
After we all gave our little preface. Go ahead. So I think the definition is super important, but I feel like a lot of times it's influenced by people's past experiences. So I'm kind of curious to hear how you guys interacted with identity politics and how you define it. You want to
If
take it
Spot
away
wants to
or
go next.
It's the politics of your identity. Duh.
low kick?
That's like the politics that politicize the shit that identifies you. Duh.
It is that though. That's just funny.
I feel like Rob like did the most eloquent explanation for me to go next. Would be like, yeah, it's like it's the politics that fits like people that look like you and act like you.
Identity politics, to me, the definition is when a political organization uses your identity to try to get you to vote for them or try to get you to vote for their causes. Like when they put your identity first and they try to access you on that level.
Vote
you're
for
black,
me.
We could help
Biden.
you on these things. We could help the black community, or we could help,
Niggas.
instead of having your policies be out in front, and that's what you run with. Hey, we have these policies that will help your life, instead of you just
Furries
instead of
for
you
the
being,
Pence man.
mm-hmm. and that's what I feel like.
Be a person first. You're a black voter.
I feel like you can do that, but you
I
have
am
to.
a black
The
voter.
policies have to come in there at some point and like back up what you're saying. Because if it's just identity, then it's like there's a whole bunch of different factors that make up people's identities, and if people are grouping together based upon those factors, then like
But do
you're
you
missing
not,
out on policy changes that could be helping your community or not helping your community.
But do you want them to not cater to their target audience? Because some of them are for a certain identity.
Your target audience should be all of America. It should be like a shotgun spray, and then you get who you get
It's
based
got a
upon your
nice spread.
policies. Yeah, got a the bird shot. But
It's got a nice spread.
yeah, I feel like and then whoever's gonna align with your core values, that's gonna be your base or whatever. So
He's down with burning monkeys. I don't like monkeys. I'm voting for him.
exactly.
Okay, understood. I just wanted to strong arm your argument.
It's
Me
still
too.
man, but hilarious. Strong arm.
Still man the argument.
I wanted
This is
to.
so adorable.
I wanted to hey man your argument.
What did the hey man?
I
What did the
would say,
haymaker
hey.
my argument?
I wanted to hey man your argument.
Hey man, that's enough of your argument. But yeah,
Did I do it right, Rob?
I feel like the fact that you even remembered the concept of the thing, that's good enough. I'll take that. I will say nothing negative about you attempting to steal bad people.
I wanted to left arm the argument.
I will spare you this time from the roasting fire, so that you may grow into a better interlocutor.
Yeah, man, I'll be popping and locking all down the street. Sorry,
Yeah.
I shouldn't drink before this.
God, absolutely. That's
my
so
second
wonderful.
topic. Okay, let's move on past
Moving right along.
identity politics. Is I saw a Twitter post where this girl was mad about going to the gym and working out. And she had to wear like she said you have to wear like a jacket around her waist, and she doesn't like guys looking at her and stuff. And she was calling guys animals and pigs and stuff for looking at her. And I was reading people's comments in the comment section, and some of the guys are like, making different arguments about why they should, like, you could look like you're not supposed to be staring and drooling, but like if a girl's hot, if she's walking around and she's got see-through leggings on, and you're at the gym and her titty is hitting you in the head while you're trying to work out, like
I feel like
you're
it's
gonna
never-
look right.
I feel like it's never that
Why
drastic.
are
It's
you
never.
that close?
I feel like it's never that drastic. First of all, if her titties hit me in the head while we're working out, that's just called sex. That's literally just what that's literally just called sex. That's all that is.
Yes.
I will say this though. Okay. First of all, I want to figure out what gym she's going to right now during quarantine.
That yes, that as well.
There are gyms that are open.
But there's gyms
bro.
that are open, yeah.
Where?
Down in
Online.
down in the Oceanside area.
On the
gyms are
internet?
open, bro.
Lord, we're never gonna get out of this.
Never, bro.
This is never gonna end.
Get used to it.
We're always gonna have to wear masks everywhere.
Yes, that's life now.
It'll be Bane in a decade.
Oh my God, we're trying to long, man. I feel like I get the whole like creeps creeps
Mhm. I get that.
aspects that's been going on for years.
Yes.
The whole Me Too movement and stuff. But at the same time, as a human being, not even as a man,
Mm-hmm.
when something catches my eye, whether it be attractive, whether it be a glimmer of light, whether it just be a burning building, whether it be anything, I'm going to look and I'm going to stare at least a little bit. I'm not going to sit there and oogle it like, oh my God, ooh, I want that fat ass. But if a girl walks by and she's kind of cute and like she walks by and catches my attention, that's the whole point. Like she catches my attention. I'm just,
Yes.
and then I will get back to my workout.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's innocent.
Yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't be chastised for just taking a peek. Like, you're gorgeous. Like,
That's what I said.
as
And
long
also,
as
some
yeah.
women come to the gym looking for guys' attention.
Some do, but I get the
You know?
ones that don't. But if you don't, and you're like, and I just take a peek, I'm not hitting on you. I don't say nothing. Hey, sweetheart, you might well smile. Hey, let me spot you real quick. But
Mhm.
you walk past, and I'm not even like looking at you as you change machines. But if you wear something cute, and you walk past, and I notice you, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I keep to my business. I mean, I feel like every guy should get one. If you're an attractive
What?
girl, you should give every guy one look
One
of
look.
like 2 seconds.
Oh, well, a girl said that in the comments. She was like, 2 seconds is fine just as long as you're not staring or whatever. But I was like, you're in the gym. Everybody's looking at everybody. Like, I've had times where I walk past women and they look straight at my meat.
That's what I'm gonna say. I was
Straight
like,
at it.
women will look at men like intensely and judge them as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like the same thing goes for them. I have women that come to my job all the time and hit on me in the most inappropriate ways. And I'm a slower, so I let it happen. I allow it. But
Yeah.
other than that, like, still, like, some women that I don't want to talk to me in some way, like, will still flirt and be like cute and look and like, I love your smile, your skin. I'm like,
There's a level
Thank
of
you.
flirtatiousness that's appropriate that adds some spice to life.
Exactly.
I
It's
feel
just
like there's a line that you shouldn't cross that
Mhm.
like like both parties know that like.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you're both adults and both consenting and both like each other, then y'all can choose to take it further or not. That's on y'all.
I kept watching Misfits. Remember Misfits?
Mm-hmm.
So I rewatched it with like even the seasons that I didn't like before. And there was a girl in there that had her power was she had hypnotizing tits. Like, people couldn't look away from her breast. Like, they wouldn't look. You couldn't even see what she looked like until halfway through the episode. I'm like, if you're staring like how they were staring at her, like, you obviously like are like getting caught staring at shorty boobies, like, for like past like noticing. There's noticing and then there's like staring. Like,
I feel like it depends on how she looks.
Like, if
her
you're
clothes are falling, like if it's not, like if she got on stuff that's like super revealing and it's like I don't know, like
if it's revealing, I feel like the time limit should be up to 6 seconds.
get a little bit more time to not be a creep.
we get a little bit more time on the clock. I can stare at you for 6 seconds, and they all don't have to be at the same time.
I get a couple more look backs.
Yeah, I get like one look back, and I can separate my 6 seconds into like
What is
increments of 3.
What's all this then?
What's all this in?
Uh,
What's all this in?
All right.
What's all this in?
all right.
All right. All right. Hey, you don't do that brown kid voice. But I feel like if you're revealing, it should be up to 6 seconds. If it's not revealing and you just bad, and at least if you know you're bad, it should be 4 seconds. If you're questioning your own badness, it should be 2 seconds. And the men should be allowed to at least get it. Because women will stare the hell out of you. Just, chocolate. Hold on, whoa. Okay, thank you. I appreciate. I've been catcalled as a man by women before.
I have to.
How you doing, chocolate skin?
Oh, I'm like, all
So
right.
is this woman saying that she? I'm sorry. What was like the ultimate purpose of the article? What
She's mad that she has to wear hoodies and stuff because she's
Yes,
men
basically.
look at her
Basically,
in the
she
gym.
doesn't like being looked at by men, and she like on her
Like,
page.
at
I
all.
went to her page, and she said when she walks in and she sees men, and she had a picture of a guy like oh my god, like what are guys doing?
Okay,
Here?
I mean,
It's like it's the
honestly,
gym.
You
Like,
know what?
what do you mean?
Honestly,
I gotta see
I
a picture
said,
of Shorty to see if she's
like,
bad or not.
she's bad.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so
Okay. Yeah.
She's bad.
my little 2 cents.
7
on her,
seconds.
My little 2 cents on her is
7 seconds. 10 seconds.
Like, you know
10
what you look
seconds.
like.
Nah, but okay. So my opinion is, if she is literally just,
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you're
There you
going
go.
out.
yeah, in and
You're-
out. I think I'm good now.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
if she is literally just complaining that she doesn't like dudes looking at her, I say fine. All right, cool. It's an article about you complaining about people who you don't find attractive
Mm.
looking at you.
Mm.
Who doesn't do that? Who doesn't go, ah man,
I
there go
hate
them-
that they like me.
there goes those people I find ugly. The person I don't want wants find me attractive looking at me. Now, if she was like, if she took that further and was like, now I also think that the men shouldn't be allowed to look at the women or something like that, then I feel like it just goes a bit too far. It's like, look, I get where you're coming from as far as like, if you're
Unwanted attention.
or unwanted attention. But it's like the fact of the matter is, it's like that is so loosely defined. Like she can't even speak for all women because of different sexual orientations.
Some like
let
the
alone
attention.
That's what-
other, just other sexes.
That's what I said to my
so-
wife earlier. We were talking about it, and I was saying
Mhm.
she could just go to an all-female gym, but I was like, that doesn't stop the fact that there's gay women out there who might be checking her out still. You
I
know?
didn't even know
It's
all
like-
female gyms existed.
I don't know. They probably don't. I don't know.
I'm gonna create
There's
it.
probably one or two.
I've heard
you know.
of one. I've heard of.
You heard of one?
Yeah, small box of gyms, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, they were
I'm-
women only.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have a women's only gym that I own and never go to because I know that they'll get so much money. A baddies only gym,
Yeah.
the gym for the baddies,
Right.
and they were like, "Bro, you got all these baddies going to your gym? Yeah, it's women's only. I'm not allowed there. But you own it? Yep. They give me all their money, just so they can work out by themselves, and I don't get to look at them.
I mean, as long as you don't trumpet and you don't just be showing up in the locker room, hey ladies.
Hey.
Oh no, no,
how's it
no,
going?"
oh no, no. I'm gonna go ahead. Good old camera footage to the phone.
just slide in your locker room. Like, ladies, great workout.
All you ladies, you guys had a great workout. It was wonderful. You guys,
Huge.
your butts are getting huge. You're lifting huge weights.
Yeah,
Huge.
just don't.
It's
beauty
tremendous
pageant.
weights. You guys are lifting great weights.
Just
The
don't-
biggest weights, record-breaking weights.
Record-breaking weights.
You guys are lifting
Billions.
weights that are almost
Billions
as
of
big as
weights.
my hands.
So many
Billions of weights.
It'll make your
Millions of
head
weights.
spin.
All the weights say that you guys are their favorite lifters. So you guys are doing really great. Real great, I am. Real great.
Trump gym
Trump.
owner.
Trump is just such a
Trump is
comical person.
Trump Globo Gym. Yeah, so just don't do that, and I feel like you'll be all right.
Hey, all women's gym. I won't even
All
be there, bro. I'm just gonna collect the money. Just, thank you. Y'all wanna work out by yourself? Cool. Let me. Hey, can you bring us some more weights? I can't. It's all female gym.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is just that I feel like I'm giving that a pass because I feel like there are certain things that sometimes people overblow as like people are using like social media platforms. They'll like hear someone like vocally complaining about something. It'll be in like a minority group, and then they'll go, "Oh, this is like a form of oppression." I'm like, it's literally not. It's literally just you hearing them complain about the thing that they got a problem with. That
Their
doesn't
experience.
necessarily mean exactly their experience. That doesn't even necessarily mean that
Anecdotal.
they're trying to do something about that experience. That their experience means that they're trying to actually punish you. You're just hearing about it, just in the same way that in the past, like if anyone who's in a more privileged position, someone who wasn't in that position, they heard how you felt. They got how you felt. They know your story. So I'm just like, all right, we're hearing somebody else, and sometimes that story means that it's it's something about you that they don't like, and you just gotta deal with it. Just roll with the punches. You'll be
Yep.
all right. Just hit your set, my nigga. Get off the squat rack.
Yep. You just got to go in there and do your workout and leave.
Shake that money.
But yeah, the reason I brought it up because it had 250,000 retweets or whatever, something like that. Like it was going super viral.
But
Reason why he
why?
brought it
Like
up
no,
is
half of y'all ain't
super
even in.
viral.
First of all, half of y'all don't go to
They
the
don't
gym.
go to the gym, bro.
Second of all,
Why are
half
they
of y'all
retweeting this?
are in coronavirus lockdown.
Lockdown.
And the ones that do go to the gym and are not on lockdown, half of y'all ain't getting looked at. Let's be 1,000.
Bro, that was the majority of the women commenting, bro. If you looked at their profile picture, it's like you don't go to the gym.
Y'all
Like, what
getting-
are you even talking
Y'all are getting different type of looks real quick. It's just like, okay, she's here.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
She's getting. I was gonna use that machine, but okay. That's different from like, oh, she bad as hell.
Yeah.
I can feel well. Maybe it's the people who are feeling discouraged to go to the gym
That's like white people looking at a Black Lives
A lot
rally
of them
meeting
were
like,
saying that, too.
yes, like bro, chill.
They're like, I haven't been to the gym in years because of that. Because guys are looking at him.
No, you haven't been to the gym in years because you're lazy. Don't blame us.
Like,
Don't blame us.
if
You
that's
can
what
work
wanna
out.
Say.
You can work out at home. Don't blame us.
Yeah.
Don't blame us. There are other gyms. You can go to 24-hour fitness and work out at 3 in the morning.
I mean,
I've done it.
if there's a gym that's closer to her and there's like a perv guy who always shows up and is like drooling over her,
Chick. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know, I can
24-hour
understand.
fitness at 3 a.m. That that means there's less dudes in the gym. There's always still that one Russian guy in the back
Yeah.
just on a treadmill.
But see, those
can
dudes
see
really be
him.
about the fitness though.
They
It-
trying
you
to work
see
out,
him in
though.
the he's on a little
The little, the lips, the little-
ellipse, bro. He's just
Ivan
hitting
is
this cold little
serious
thing.
about that.
Yeah,
With the
man.
short
He's
shorts?
not
Yes,
worried
bro.
about no
and the
booty
fishnet.
that
That's what
night.
I'm saying. The dudes that are
It's just
there at 3 in the
expect-
morning, those ones that have like the big
Mhm.
headphones with the antenna, that's not even like music to his phone. It's like the
Tell me
radio.
story, bro. Yeah,
Yo,
I'm locked
those
in right now.
those are the ones that's really working out. They don't care about no buns.
Ivan cut on that Russian
They-
radio.
they're
and
in their
he is
head.
working out.
They
He's
are
not worried.
killing somebody moment by moment in that gym. They are working out to strangle someone to death. For that reason, just they're working out to clamp somebody.
to not put the clamps on somebody.
That is literally why they're not in the gym to. Oh, maybe I'll see a hot chick today while I get my sets and my pumps in. They're working out like.
But I feel like
He
some
looked for
women
my
are
daughter.
denying the fact that the gym is low key a hunting ground for talking to women and for women to talk to guys too.
I mean, kinda. It's like the club
it's a little club or another area for
or the
co-
weed shop
for
if you're a
women.
bartender. I'm sorry.
Hey, everywhere if you're a Mac, if you're a real.
If you're a real Mac, you get it.
You got a
anyway.
real game.
Nah, but if you got game, your job is
Bag
the
a
best
girl
way
at, the at a funeral, okay? Sorry about your
I
grandma.
feel that the gym definitely can't be
Sorry.
that for that kind of personality type. I just feel like people.
I feel like the
sometimes you
gym
gotta
and
really-
work.
Sometimes you really gotta watch how like the culture that you build in a place can actually almost become like a gatekeeping
Yep.
thing for
Yeah.
other people trying to come in.
Yeah,
So it could be
Picking
a
up
bit of that.
hotties at the
like
gym.
biker bars.
I
When's
feel
the
like
last time you guys been to a biker bar?
I feel like the gym is a place to like meet, not like pick up like random women like every time, but just like kind of like meet girlfriends. Cause like it's not like you could go to the gym, meet a girl bagger, and then like go to the gym, the same gym, pick a different girl and bag her without the first girl and being like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
So like when you go to the gym, like if you're
you
looking
got
for
one to
yeah,
two
you got
girls that
you got a
can bag
chance.
there.
Like you got 2 shots at the gym that you could do, you know, before people start being like, "Oh, this dude at the
Oh,
gym."
this is
but
what he does.
he just
Nah,
kills
bruh,
air and
yeah,
creeps.
You
man.
go,
Just
you go,
comes to
you gonna be
Mm.
pissing off the old women in the Zumba class.
That's
They're
what I'm
gonna
You're
be
gonna be
saying.
watching.
They're like,
That's what I'm saying. You can only really
you know he's like the fourth girl he brought in here, right?
every
He be
time.
doing the same
All the
little
time.
the same little tired weak ass workout.
Yo, come work out with me, and then he try to come back. Yeah, he don't do this for real. He don't really even be working out like that. We don't never see him in here unless a girl with him.
He
like-
be doing half squats when you not looking.
Exactly. He be counting extra hard and fast. While you go to the bathroom, he be don't even do nothing. He be on his phone taking pictures. You know that. I'm dead serious, bro. Like you get 2 shots in the gym, so that's why dudes be staring because they be like,
Should it
"Do I
be
want to
her?
use this shot on her?
Bro, selective.
Do I want to use this shot on her?"
Like, hi,
No, man. Actually, no. Real talk. That's the big truth. People be underestimating how like dudes low key gotta have like a little secret spy, a whole other like personality. Like I gotta come up with not just one effective routine for my schedule. Multiple effective throwaway. I need to have like a burner life for me to
Mhm.
throw away just in case if you aren't cool with the advancement that I just tried. So
Yeah.
now I can't come back to this Chipotle
Ever
just 'cause,
again.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like, all right.
See, that's why I like shooting my shot at work. Cause if you don't like me, you can't come here again. I work here, like
You
yeah.
don't have to see me.
Yeah, if I shoot my shot at Miz, you go, now I can't go to that dispensary. Nope, you sure
You
can't.
could go back. You just gotta not give a f about it.
Because
Like,
I'm
you just gotta be
shooting
like,
again.
Yeah, I tried. You said no or whatever.
I'm shooting again. Every
Or
single
yeah, you could keep shooting.
every time you
every
come
time
in.
you see her.
I work
Oh,
here.
what's up?
I work
No,
here.
still no.
You
Okay.
don't have to come here every day. I'm
right.
shooting every shot.
But
every
in a
single
nice way. You don't gotta be harassing.
Hey,
like, harassment.
Give me your number.
Yo,
Like, oh,
Now.
you're just here for the product? Oh, okay. All right.
Bet. Watch.
I was gonna give you a discount, but since you don't want to
Big
give me your number,
Yo, big facts I be using. I be flexing that all the time. You just give me your number. I can bring it to you. I can bring it to your crib. Like, what's up? We can smoke it together.
we can smoke a blunt.
So what we gonna smoke? What we gonna smoke?
The Me Too movement is coming for you, Spot.
Cause I want to smoke with
They're
y'all.
doing their research right now.
Stone him. Look, y'all gonna have to get behind the lines with all the other racial groups of the government that I done pissed off. The Smiths and the Pinkett Smiths.
And the Pinkett Smiths is
Who else I pissed off?
Pinkett Smiths is.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, what are you talking about?
Tory Lane, short, hobbit ass.
I'm sorry, the West and Kardashian.
Oh, the West and the Kardashian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Y'all like bill collectors and
watch,
everybody
bro.
that I owe
Yeah.
money to. Like, y'all got a long line to
Yeah,
wait.
bro, you got a long list of enemies.
Yeah, big list. Y'all gotta wait. I'm opening up the mail like one by one every 2 weeks.
And the clown, the Tommy clowns.
Oh, Tommy the Clown. Like, yeah, y'all like, look, Tommy the Clown is like the closest to anybody can get an apology to me. And that's not happening.
If Tommy the Clown walked in right now and asked for an apology, would you give him an apology?
For what?
For whatever transgressions?
No, I don't owe him an apology.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't even talking to him.
Oh, okay.
Like, nobody was talking to him. Like, he jumped in the conversation that nobody was speaking to him. Yes, his name came up, but we were not talking to him. There was no reason for him to respond.
Explain the story again, please, for the viewers.
Mind you, I'm also guilty of this. I've done this as well. But still. And when I did it, I got roasted, and I let it be. So, the homie, well, this dude that was my homie at the time, he was on Twitter, and he was talking to somebody else, and they were like, we were all talking like this little group and adding each other in this group, just like we were laughing. And dude was like, yo, you should blah, 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 blah. And dude was like, what do I look like, Tommy the Clown? And didn't at him, nothing, like, wasn't like directed at him or nothing. He just wrote Tommy the Clown. So
Oh, this is on the internet.
this is on the
Where
internet.
is this? Facebook?
On
or
Twitter.
Twitter?
On Twitter.
Okay.
So Tommy the Clown comes out of nowhere and was like, well, at least if I did this, I did it. Something like in like a snarky remark type
Uh-huh.
way.
Come back.
And like the reason, like, we were tweeting each other, but like we were all like close to each other. Like, I think like one person was down the street and like a bunch of us were in the same
It
room.
was like a small little
Yeah, so
thread of guys going back and forth.
and we were all like in the like close.
Did somebody tag him?
No, nobody tagged him. That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
wow.
So we were all in close proximity to each other. So we were all like basically like one person was in one room, and then a group of us was in another room. Another person was down the street at their house. Another person was down the street at their house. So when he responded, we started like, "Yo, did he really just say something? Why did he say something? Why did he say? Did anybody really was talking? We weren't talking to him, were we?" And like people were like, "Yo, I'm about to come over. Hold on. Like I'm about to go. Like hold on. I'm about to walk over to your house real quick." And like we all grouped up. We were like, "Yo, why did he say anything? Why is he talking to us?" And like we just kind of was like, "Yo, bro, shut up." And he was like, "I'm not shutting up. You guys need to respect me." And like we was like, "No." And we just started roasting Tommy the Clown. And we was like, I was like, "Yo, bro, you not funny. You not a good dancer. Everybody around you a good dancer, but you suck." You know. And all this, I was like, "I'll battle you," and all this other stuff. Young, when battling was important.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll battle you. We can do all that. We can get down, you know, all this stuff." And like everybody, like the whole group of us was like roasting Tommy the Clown for like a cool day. And like people was like, "They need to leave you alone. They need to respect you. They need to leave Tommy alone." Other people was like, "Yo, Tommy the Clown is washed. We over it. We tired of Tommy, this, that, the other." And like,
So y'all started a whole thing off of it?
yeah, it was like a cool little like movement for a second where it was like Tommy the Clown is in a Twitter beef with a bunch of kids, right, online. And we were like 16, 17, 18 at the time. He was like, yeah, they had a Twitter beef with a bunch of kids online talking about, oh, you know, you guys need to, you know, we can link up and this, that, the other. We were like, yo, we kids, and you over here. It's basically like when Ice-T said something about Soulja Boy. And he was like, you old nigga, like, shut up. Da, da, da. Granted, Tommy is a staple in the community. He does great in the community. He's a great dude. But I'm not apologizing for that, bro. We weren't talking to you. Like, no. Never. And if I could go back and talk to my younger self, I'd tell him to do it again. We were not talking to him.
And that concludes the Tommy the Clown.
Tommy
So
Watch.
basically,
Getting cussed out story.
He's an American icon. He's a
Tommy the
neighborhood-
Clown, he's an American icon.
he's a
But
ne-
next
he's a
time
neighborhood staple,
when
but
people are talking about you but not to you, don't say nothing.
Tommy the Clown. We here at the On the Table podcast do not endorse Spot's words. Do not send your hitters for us. We
All your
love you.
clown hitters.
Please don't send any clown dancers to my crib. to
Whoop
kill
your
me.
ass.
They're dancing outside my. They're like, come out here right now. They fucking crumping and shit. I cannot dance. I have nothing for them.
I'm washed up. I still say I
Please.
don't care.
Only
bro.
Spot will serve them, not me or Rob.
Bro, Tommy the Clown is a great dude. Now that I'm an adult, as a black man, you're very important to the community. Appreciate what you're doing, all that. Still, I stand by what I said as a child. I don't care. Like, bro, when it comes to that situation, I can't cuss on here no
So
more.
if Tommy the
Bleep
Clown
you.
walked in here right now and challenged you to a dance
Like,
battle,
run it. We
would
can
you
still
dance?
run it. We
Would
can
you
still run it. We can still run it. Absolutely. I respect Tommy now as like a grown man now. Like I was definitely a kid when I wrote all that stuff, but I stand by what I said.
What if y'all had the dance battle at Arena and backstage before you came out, he had some of his goons like hit you in the knee and then he outdances you? What would happen then?
I'd shoot him. I'd shoot him. Dead in the neck. I'd shoot him. First of all, you ain't gonna break my good dancing.
We will
knee.
both shoot him because I would never let him just break my
That's-
bro's knee.
that's what I'm
like
saying.
that,
You're not
bro.
about to break my good
Nah,
dancing
I can't
leg.
do
you're
that.
one good dancer.
My one good dancing leg. You're not about to break that. And then on top of that, you're not about to beat me in an arena in front of people and live. Like even if my leg was good and he beat me, I'd shoot him. I'd just shoot him.
Y'all know damn well we're gonna be smoking a blunt one day and let him get Marcus Houston in some lonely hallway with a duffel bag of cash that they take away.
Oh, we forgot about Spot.
Spot, no. Got like 4 voicemails from him. He's not picking up no more.
I remember once Nick
Just go-
forgot about
go-
me.
Go to the local projects. We gotta find him.
I remember once Nick forgot about me while I was getting tattooed.
Really?
Was it true and Justin?
It might have been. I don't know.
It was like I was getting tattooed and Nick was like, hey, we gonna go back to the crib and like get some food. We're gonna be back in like an hour. I was like, an hour? I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, come back in an
That
hour
sounds
because my phone's
familiar.
about to die.
Uh,
He was like, all right, cool. I was like, an hour, bro, because my phone's going to die and I won't be able to call you. He was like, okay, cool. And then, like, I
sounds
sat
like me.
there.
This sounds like
So I
something
sat
I
there.
would do.
I got tattooed. I sat there. It took an hour. After the hour was over, I sat there and waited. I waited another hour for him to come back. And then after, I was like, he's not coming. So then I like walked all the way from the tattoo shop back to Nick's house.
And then we drove. No. You
And I
walked back.
walked
You
in the
you walked
crib.
back.
Like I walked in the crib, like behind the couch, behind Nick and Justin. Went upstairs and like went to sleep because I was like, I'm tired. I just walked all the way back from the tattoo parlor
Uh-huh.
back to your crib, and we didn't have Uber back then.
And then we left. We went
And
to
then,
go
like,
look for you. Or
I heard them like get up and leave. I heard them like, we forgot Spot. And, like they like ran out. The
Yeah.
They ran out the house.
Wow, I could kind of remember that.
And then they came back in and they were like, yo, oh God, and they like went to like try to call me and like they ran upstairs like, what? Oh, Spot, you been here? I'm like, yeah, I've been asleep the whole
Like,
time.
what the
They're like, what happened? I was like, I walked back a long
What?
time ago.
place was that? Where
That
was I
was-
living?
That was in the valley in the condo. In the one with the steps.
The summit.
I think the one with the pool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was just when we started to drive and whatnot.
Yep. Yep. Silver Mustang.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think it's a Mustang. Good
Yep.
times, good times. That was the same apartment my car got broken into when I came up there.
No, that was a while after.
But after,
That
but
was
it
like
the
after
same,
high school.
But that was the same place though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No. That was a different place. Cause I
Huh?
had my own place by then.
No. You were still like this was like right after high school.
No, when your car got crashed into.
No, not crashed into when it got broke into.
Oh, okay. Well,
That was the one like remember when like we just went to Hollywood and bought like pieces and
Uh-huh.
like a bowl piece and shit. And
I remember
like,
that.
I was driving the Camry at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I went to
I
your
ain't
crib.
got that.
Yeah, and then I went to the camera and like I went in your crib and like my window was cracked just a little bit. And not from the break of my car, they took my pipe. They took
I
I
remember.
think like a guitar.
Yeah, like you got like an insurance claim for that.
Yeah, and then like something like I think they took a camera I just bought.
Mm-hmm.
And I was mad. I was hot. I was like, oh my god, I just bought that camera like 2 days ago, and they took it. Yep, good
Yep.
place. Good place.
I remember them like they replaced your camera and everything.
I remember. Think
Rob, you got any topics?
you got anything? Got any stories from Nick's old house?
My old cribs.
Nick's old place. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I remember this time I got jumped, bad, like in the backyard.
Oh,
just, like,
yes,
in
sir.
the corner. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Just blacking out, slowly seeing the wasted font. I was just like reaching out. I was like reaching out for Nick and Justin, and they were like laughing with some girls, and they just like walked off into the distance. I was like, oh wow, like
Pussy.
no.
Justin had the girls on each bicep. Fucking off.
Bro, after my graduation from high school, I saw Justin like die, but he was so high and drunk that it didn't affect him.
Was that the trampoline?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
He got
I
broke
wish Justin
in
was
half,
here. I
bro.
wish Justin was here just for that.
I don't think he likes the story.
Oh,
but
that's why we got to tell him why he's not here.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like it either. It was crazy.
Yo, he was jumping on the trampoline.
So high. You were there too.
I was there. I seen the whole thing happen. He was drunk.
Yes.
He was high
He
as
just
shit.
hit a giant bong.
He had a giant ball.
The bong was like as tall as me, Rob. Like,
and he
it was
hit the
huge.
whole ball. And he wasn't really smoking like
no,
that
he
at
wasn't
the time.
a big smoker.
He
either.
wasn't a big smoker like that.
Uh,
And he was like, all right, now I'm going to go on the trampoline. Everybody was normally just laying on the trampoline. He went and started jumping on the trampoline. He was like, I'm
he
going to do
started
a
jumping
flip.
high.
I'm going to do a fucking flip. He started jumping high. And I don't know if he went for the flip. I don't remember if he actually went for the flip or not.
I just remember turning
But
and
he
seeing him
jumped up.
slam.
And he like went in the corner where it's like, the
Where, like, where it
spring.
connects to the spring.
But
with
the steel
mat.
circle.
Yeah.
And that dude folded in half, bro. Like, I mean, like, the thing is, he hit it on the side. Like, he
It was
hit it on his
hard, too.
rib.
Yes.
He hit it on his rib. But when I say he folded, he went, bah! And
He wrapped around
like
it.
wrapped around it, but sideways, bro.
Yeah.
So we looking at Justin like, yo, you okay? He's like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm like, you are definitely
He's gonna feel
not
that
good.
tomorrow.
He hit me the next day like, I'm in so much pain. I don't know why. I'm like, bro, you had a
Yeah.
fight with a trampoline and lost badly.
Yeah.
So, he took a dose of that gymnast life, man.
Yeah.
That's-
He said, yeah. Go. Yeah.
But yeah. No. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to address?
Meg Watch, Tory Lanez has now been charged with 22 counts, including assault with a deadly weapon. So everybody that switched teams and was like from Meg to Tory, let's see if y'all switch back from Tory to Meg now that he's actually indicted.
So he's about to go to jail for life.
Well. Being accused is not the same as being found guilty or indicted for the crime. He's been charged, which means he's going to have to stand trial or, plead his case. And we shall see. But
If he's found guilty of shooting her in the foot,
he will have to serve a substantial amount of time in jail or
dang,
probably face deportation.
that sucks because he was at the top of the world.
Man, he came with the quarantine. He should have stuck with quarantine radio.
He should have kept that going, man. That was killing it.
Should've, bro.
Quarantine radio. I don't
You
know
have to
why
be
he
that
was trying to
quarantine
be.
radio from jail.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why he tried to
Oh.
quarantine. Yo, if he quarantined radios from jail, bro,
Sick.
yo, it'd be lit, bro. And have his jail cell like quarantine. It's like a hood nigga, so it'd be a little different, like quarantine.
That'd be so sad.
Oh my God.
On blood.
Just have, like,
Oh
picture
my
at the
God.
beginning of 2020 and then at the end of 2020.
Yo,
He's
how it
just in
started.
jail.
Yo, they need that meme. How it started,
Yeah.
how it ended. Yo, I'm mad at the meme when they're like, we got Tory Lanez's mugshot, and it was just plankton.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. It's
no.
getting juicy. I mean, they wouldn't charge him if they didn't have evidence, as the French would say.
A bit the once.
The evidence. The aviance.
Well, I mean, her foot got shot, so
People were saying that didn't
unless the
look like
story
a
was
gun
a
wound.
lie and she stepped on glass,
Or
but I don't
some-
think glass would have did that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And then
It looked
somebody
like
else.
a bullet went through her foot.
No, I don't think it went through it. I think a bullet grazed her foot.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I
it's
think.
like it looks like a bullet would like hit her foot, not like
Yeah,
a glass.
I don't think it
not-
went
not
like-
she stepped on glass.
Through her foot, like actually like in her heel out the other side. I think it went like on the side.
Just
of
the
it.
side, yeah, right
Just
to the
nicked it.
side.
It's a little meat.
It's a little bit of the meat.
It's foot meat. That's why she like is low key straight, like she good.
Yeah, I think
She didn't
I
have no
think
bone or anything.
he probably didn't even mean to shoot her. I think he meant to shoot like at her feet. Again, speculation. Shoot at her feet, and then he's just so tiny he doesn't understand that the gun's gonna kick. So
Yeah.
it was like pop, pop, and it just like hit
And
her
he probably
foot.
was hella drunk too, and he probably just on some extra shit.
Yeah, like I'm gonna shoot by her feet.
And then it just happened to graze her, and then now he's messed up his whole career.
My thing is like, he shouldn't have put out that album say he didn't do it, because I think that's the thing that fueled them to be like, let's see who real. We decide if you didn't do it or not. Because I feel like before he put out the album, everybody was kind of just letting it die, letting it rock. Like, yo, bro, don't say nothing. Like, we want to hear your side of the story, but don't say nothing. And then he comes out with an album like, I didn't even do it. How I shoot you if it's behind you? And then the investigator's like, are you questioning us that we can't do our job? All right, so let's do our job now.
I think that is stupid for him to. He was quiet for a long time, and
And
people were
he was-
asking about it. People were
He
like,
was
"Where's
free while
Tory
he was
Lanez?
quiet.
Why is he not saying anything?"
The whole time he did not have an album out, he was out of trouble. He was uncharged. He was a free man, as
But they
the
were
French
probably
like to say.
they were working on the investigation.
Probably, but
probably-
they didn't drop nothing until he dropped his album.
I
I
heard,
don't think the
I
album
heard
was
him
the
and Rick
catalyst.
Ross kind of started going back and forth with it
Yeah.
on Twitter. Rick Ross was saying like, "How could you even, at a time like this, do something towards the black ladies?" And it was like, "Whoa, Rick Ross, you clearly made a song talking about roofing chicks." Like,
Big facts.
I'm not too sure.
High
if
and
you're
mighty, my high
First of all,
horse,
Tory Lanez, how can you see a black woman and now want to
churches,
smother her in butter and herbs and spices and
hickory smoked,
delectable sauces and
double M.
delectable juices from only the most savorous of
Tory Lane.
chicken broths.
He looked like a little chicken. I'll just slather him, and throw him in some grease.
Last time on Torico.
You just gotta catch your breath, bro. You just gotta remember where you're at. You gotta remind yourself, like, I'm doing something right now.
Last time on Torico.
Last time on Torico.
Caught yourself slipping. You were kind of drooling there.
Of the gourmet world.
Gourmet world.
You were in a culinary ecstasy there. You had to
Last time on Torico.
Bro,
calm down, have the vapors.
there's one cooking anime that used to come on Cartoon Network. They would eat the
Fucking
food,
cat,
and their
yo.
food would, their clothes would fly off like when they took a bite of the food.
Oh,
They're like, and they'll have like they'll bust a little nut like when they're eating the food, bro. Like it's so good. Oh,
that was like Torico. I need to get
Like,
Torico
what
over the rest in the English dub because Torico was going ham over some food, yo. Like, the steak is cooked to perfection.
just gluttonous. Just
Thank you for this meal.
No, what was always funny to me was like their random stories about like some far off island of like legendary food, and it was always like
Cheesecake
It's
Island.
always like a
Well, the
combination
Galapagos
of
Island.
like geology and biology and like culinary foods.
We have mountains that are made from the only most sweetest of
Yeah,
cherries.
it's like
the
like
apple
a-
fruit bird.
The donut hole prairie dogs are delicious. Like,
Yes.
Baked to perfection.
With the glaze over the mountain.
the dark chocolate bison.
Y'all go watch Torico or
Last time on Tiger.
that other cooking.
Y'all understand? That dude be coming back from the most ecstatious culinary dreams, wet dream.
Yeah.
They have to calm him down afterwards.
They do, man. He has to like wipe a little bit of drool off on the side.
They come in and put a cape over him after he's done.
Well, anyway, aside from these food gases, moving right along to another topic. I personally have still been on Trump Watch. Health Watch.
Trump Health Watch. This
2020.
nigga sick. Hey Rob, we're seeing you out front of the White House again for Trump Sick Watch and a Health Watch. Can you tell us about any current situations, any movements you've seen out there on the field?
Yeah, Spot, I can hear you out here. We're actually out here on the field, and talk about movement, man. It has been really slow in a lot of ways because we really got some paperwork here from the doctor, and
Regeneron.
although we have a whole lot of doubts about the Trump's recovery plan, being that it is contrary to any other kind of recovery that any other person who's caught in this disease have gotten. When we got back our paperwork from the doctors, all the tests said was A-OK, written in pencil. So we're not too sure how official this paperwork is. We're going to stay tuned, Spot, down here and let you know how these things develop.
It just said big league.
It just said it said
It had a sticker with "good job" on it.
No, bro. I kid you not. Just watch the video of him at the helicopter conference when he like ripped the mask off, just to like show he doesn't need that silly little mask, that dumb little thing. It's his own mentally bravado that's beating back the disease.
That's how you got the Rona in the first place.
And you watched him like struggling to breathe, and then there was this one glorious moment where he like winced just to like breathe deeply, and I was like, oh yes. And I've seen people like zoom in on his eyes, and his pupils are like massive. So
That's all the Adderall.
Again, I said it last time, I'm gonna say it again. Herman Cain on his Twitter on the 30th of whatever month this was before he died, said he was perfectly fine, and on the 3rd of the next month he died. So we're gonna see how long does Trump watch.
And that's been Trump Watch.
So that's been Trump Watch, and then I'm also on Fascist Watch as we're slowly approaching this election.
Different theme song.
And also on Election Fraud Watch, as the Republicans in CA District 25 have been caught setting up fake polling boxes for people to turn in their vote by mail things. And apparently that is illegal because it is a form of ballot. It is a form of ballot harvesting that is non-registered. So apparently Republicans oftentimes will complain about people doing ballot harvesting. They'll say it is not okay for someone to go around and collect ballots for people who like maybe aren't mobile, can't deliver their stuff. Old people, stuff like that, going to a senior citizens community. But a lot of states allow that because as long as you are registered. Ballot harvester, they know where they're going to be taking the stuff. There's kind of some protective measures to make sure they're not doing things.
But in this amount of numbers that they can pick up too.
Yes, in this case, they were setting up fake boxes that said it was official, even though they were not official, and they were collecting those things, even though they were not registered collectors of those ballots. And do you really want someone who's like, if you're the opposing party, because let's be honest, it's in California, so there's probably going to be some Democratic voters, and they're going to be affected by this. Do you really want a Republican delivering your ballot?
No. I think that's the whole problem with mail-in voting all around. It's both sides. It's like there's going to be funny business going on with the ballots. It's like people, if they look at you and feel like you're going to vote for Trump or if you're going to vote for Biden, it's like, I'll just throw that one away.
I'm bringing weed. If I go and like actually sit in the motherfucking line, I'm gotta bring some weed because I'm not.
Oh yeah, I'm surely bringing a stizzy.
Yeah, stizzy or something. You can't light up a blunt.
It's a free country,
sir. You're gonna have to let me hit that first, okay?
Yeah, but personally, I think
Rona.
As long as you have a.
What is this? This low grade? Get out of here. Get out of the line. Step out of the line.
You can't vote if you smoke mid. Excuse me, sir.
Please step to that line over there.
No, but I think as long as you have a decent post office system to deliver the mail, then that's fine. I personally think that mail-in voting can be fine, even if it is what do they call it? Unsolicited mail-in voting, where they may even do things. It's like filling out a little bit of info for you to make it a bit easier, like your name or your birthday or something like that. It's not like filling in who you're voting for. And I feel like if there's some kind of like major campaign to influence voting, especially to like pay people or something like that, those things are incredibly hard to hide or just not that effective in the grand scheme of things of like other marketing plans for elections and stuff like that. Like I feel like if it was really that effective, it would be far more common of a tool of election manipulation than it actually seems to be, because there are other forms of manipulating an election.
I think that they're probably taking part in hella like other strategies that we probably can't see, you know, to try to manipulate the votes. Both sides are, you know, but you know, there's probably some guy who's watching them right now. I'm gonna do a documentary about it 5 years from now or whatever. Like, you know, the whole election was a sham.
I don't know,
The
man.
election was rigged.
Pretty committed to the non-even nature of this. I really do think that like, if you want to know my frank opinion, it is that conservatives are pretty much dinosaurs. This is all they have. Once they lose this form of power, as far as like being able to hold on to the country through using a form like the Electoral College or voter suppression, like when it comes to like just the more popular ideas, the left has won. Like, so
I don't know about that. I feel like the left has not offered
whole nother
things to a lot of people who are within like their voter. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people who vote for the left, but they don't have to really offer anything to them because they've had them historically for years. So,
and that's
it's
totally
like,
fine. But
no,
a win, easy win is a win nonetheless. And so I'll put it this way: a disaffected left person who really doesn't like. So someone like me, I'm a left-leaning person, don't like the Democratic Party as well, but I'm securely a Democratic vote when it comes to.
I mean the Democratic Party as well. I don't mean left people. I mean,
okay.
That's what I mean. Democratic.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The party itself.
Yeah. But I guess I would just say, like, if you got like a left-affected person who's like, I don't like either party, but I'll end up going with that other one, that still counts as like a win for us in the grand scheme of things. Because at the end of the day, it's not about like, we're not talking about like who thinks. It's not like an ideal choice or like what are you going to do in the best case scenario. It's at the end of the day when the rubber meets the road. You know, when the crap hits the fan, who are you actually going to choose up with? And if you choose up with the left, then I feel like that counts as a win for us. And in the reverse, you know, for the right. If at the end of the day, if you choose up for the right, then that's a win for them.
I feel like the left, or like not the left, but the Democrats have shown time and time again that they don't really care about the voters. They care about their sponsors, and that, you know, they're going to do what the people who got them in there to do. Is like, they like Nancy Pelosi and all them, it's like they're career politicians, so they're gonna protect their livelihood. They're not gonna stir the water, you know.
That's very fair, you know, and I really agree with that. And I kind of just thought about this right now, but maybe I'll start doing a few topics where I really dig into what I feel like is the limitation of where I feel that like left-leaning culture kind of intersects with like the Democratic Party and like left-leaning policy, and how much of that corporate maneuvering I feel like is legitimate forms of like following an ideology or being of like a certain worldview versus just like virtue signaling. Because I actually, that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I don't know, like Vosh has been talking about this a bit lately, and I've kind of like subtly been getting annoyed at this as well. Like, I feel like sometimes maybe people jump too quickly to the explanation of virtue signaling from like a corporate, like they'll see a corporation do something, they'll have like a gay pride flag or you know, a BLM thing, and surely I think there are companies out there that just virtue signal and that just do it for the money. But sometimes I think we may go to that explanation too quickly, because sometimes I think there's just good merit behind part of the ideology that they're saying that they are behind.
I'm like, you look at their track record, their history. If they say Black Lives Matter, or they say like hot button topic stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
you know, just to stay in the news cycle, but and they act like they're for the people, but when you look at their track record, they give money to pro-war people, and like they're not actually for the people. It's like it comes down to what have you done for the people, and what are your policies that you're advocating, and what have been the effects of those policies on the people who vote for you. You know, not
Right.
about you could say nice things to me all day long or whatever, you know, or
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, I'm for the people or whatever, and then when you get elected, you passing new fracking laws and or like you know you're downplaying, you know,
Well, let's do this. 'Cause
regulations and
Let's
stuff.
let's do this because I kind of have a concern. I say in the future, if you have like a specific case that comes up, like a certain company does something,
Mhm.
we'll talk about it again. And we have talked about stuff like this before in the past. But what I'm kind of I've noticed a thing that happens. It's like a circle of like different plausible explanations. You have things that like it could be an economic reason or a social reason or a political reason. And sometimes I feel like when people start to meaningfully address one aspect of something, then they'll bring up the other thing. So if you start meaningfully addressing an economic issue, they'll go, well, what about the racial component or the racial thing? And then they'll go, well, what about the economics? And I do think that you got to have holistic solutions. You know, you can't
It's
just ignore stuff.
multifaceted.
But sometimes I wonder if that critique is coming at the wrong moment. You know, when it's like if I'm just trying to lay out like a very concise thing about my economics, and then you come in and you're like, well, what about the racial component? I'm like, well, I'm not even saying the racial component isn't a bad thing. It's just that's not what I'm talking about right now. That may not be a fair critique. And sometimes I feel like people may do that, but we'll see. You may not be doing that, so I don't want to accuse you of that.
I feel like
just yet.
based upon
Just yet.
statistics, Democrats have like when Democrats have been in office, black people have done worse when it comes to jobs and you know the black family flourishing. And then when a Republican gets in office, they usually roll back the regulations on businesses, and that makes businesses grow, and then more black people get jobs. But it's like you know the environment does worse, so it's pros and cons to that. Also, you know the rich people get more rich, but you know
All right, well,
that's part of the
okay
economic
so,
system.
So there's a specific claim. So you're saying that you feel like during a Democratic presidency, black people do worse? Would you say? Are you saying economically, black people do worse?
Like job wise, like
Mhm.
usually the Republican president is more like pro jobs, and they they'll they're gonna roll back regulations on the economy and let things kind of let the businessmen and people just kind of run wild and start companies and stuff and do whatever.
You got a
It-
baby running wild.
Yeah,
around
got
here.
my baby right there coming in and out of the room. But yeah,
Well, that's all right. Well, I don't want to turn this in too much of a drag about statistics and stuff like that. I see Spies catch some Z's in space over there. Drifting off
in
in
space.
in Orton, sleepy in space.
In space.
It's all
Well,
right.
I know when I can check out. I'm like, oh, well, this is the shit I know nothing about. Let me go ahead and waitress, 2 mojitos, thank you.
Yeah, he just taps out. I'm over here wired into the spirit portal energy, just like, yes, bro, give me all the statistical arguments about the median income of black wealth.
Like, you know what? I'm not gonna pretend like I caught up to that. You lost me.
Yeah.
Wake me up when I catch up.
Yeah, I was just watching this one conservative guy. He was saying that, you know, the Democrats, they don't offer anything really to like the black community because they don't have to. They already got our vote on lock. So when Democrats are in office, black people do worse. And then
But
when
I
Republicans
feel like
in office,
doesn't that necessarily come with the implicit statement that they do have something to offer? Like, how do you?
I
how
don't
do
think
you
so. I
take-
think historically
how do you
black people
take
have
something
voted
for
Democratic
Why?
because
Mhm.
the Republicans
Robert, I'm speaking.
they did
Okay.
they did some shady stuff one of the elections, and then ever since that election black people have voted Democratic. But before that point, black people used to vote Republican.
So you.
I forget what
sorry,
it
you
was.
said,
It was
someone did something shady in an election.
yes, and it was against black people and you know Republicans have done like some like Trump asking for Obama's birth certificate and
So-
stuff. They do antagonistic stuff like that, but
So just to be clear, you feel that there was an election that had something to do with voter fraud, and that had more an effect on black people not voting for the
I don't know if
Republican
it was
Party,
voter fraud. I don't
more
remember
than-
what it was.
more than the general idea that the Republicans tend to be racist, because we have to address.
No,
the
at
element-
one
we
point, black
have to-
people were Republicans.
Yeah, yes, of course,
So-
yes, but that's before the political realignment of the country, and that's during a time in which white people were also Republicans.
Yes.
We're talking about a massive
Yes.
a massive shift of identity a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Bomba
I'm talking
clot
about stuff that's
Republicans.
like far more contemporary. So like let's say for example, like let's go back to like the 60s or the 70s. Back then, do you feel like black people had the idea that the Republican Party was racist in their mind? Back then, like what was
Probably.
that a part? Okay, so that like we're talking about the 70s.
What I'm talking
We're
about is
like,
before that.
40
I'm talking
years
about
ago.
like right after slavery, or like years after
okay,
that.
Okay. Well, so in that case, I would surely defer to the idea that a lot of times Republicans really try and be underhanded about that political realignment time. I'm pretty sure that's around the time of Reconstruction, maybe a little bit after. So this is just after the Civil War, where you had a major political realignment. As far as I'm concerned, that doesn't really make it doesn't better the case for the Republicans, because a political party is made up of the constituency that supports it, right?
Mhm.
So if you have the Dixiecrats that moved to the Republican Party, well, they're gone now, and now I'm in the party that they used to vacate. So it's not like there's like, well, I mean, there could be like residual racism in like the structure, but there's no like racist like residue. Literally, as long as we get rid of the racism systemically, like legislatively, then I feel like they're gone. And as far as I'm concerned, they have gone on to affect the Republican Party in a way that has made it racist, that makes it far more like clearly racist than the Democratic Party. The Republicans are at least clearly more willing to delve into more overtly racist rhetoric than the Democratic Party is, and I do think that counts for something.
I feel like yes, but I feel like both are like, they're snake oil salesmen, and they're just trying to keep hold of power.
Mm-hmm.
And it flips every 8 years to one or the other, and it's just they promise things, but they really have to kowtow to their donors and their special interest groups who got them there. So it's like you're gonna see incremental little things they do for the people, but when the businesses need a bailout or something, they're gonna make it happen. But when black people or when people in general need a bailout, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you guys can wait," but we can't wait. Our salaries need to be paid, So
Surely, I definitely agree with you there that they'll definitely always try and protect capital. I'm trying to think of a creative way to tackle this issue without just turning it into a debate, because I feel like, well, it would be fair for me to give you time to like prepare for stuff or anything like that, but I feel like I surely want to return to the subject of trying to convince you of the legitimacy of the different aspects of the left positions out there, be them economic or social, because I feel like they definitely have a lot more of a solid footing than a lot of people give them credit to. And I think I can kind of extend that argument to also like certain acts that people may do that people kind of see as like left-leaning people, but specific ones. This is not a blanket thing. There are crazy people all over.
I feel like the Democrats today are like Republican light, bro. They're both pro-war, pro-capitalism, just or pro like market capitalism, like just letting it. But no, they'll say free market, but they really mean like they should be able to manipulate it, and be able to give certain, like, stop certain companies from disappearing and you know, and do coups in other countries and stuff. But in real life, like they'll act like, oh yeah, we're for the people, and they'll give us a little something here and there, but
Right.
it won't really be enough to cause substantial change in any of our lives, you know.
Yeah.
But
It's basically Cyberpunk 2099. Which have you guys seen the trailer for that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like every trailer I see looks like a new game almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that if you live in California, that's basically what your life's heading towards. So buckle up.
what are some of those positions? Like, what are some of the things that the left is advocating for that you would like agree with, or that you would feel like it's a positive
Oh
thing?
man, where do we start? From the economic policies of I would say like really taking to heart the Marxian critique, the potential for socialism as a solution to try and deliver the promises of liberalism to humanity. I feel like the kind of like generic American dream that people think that like liberal, and I mean I mean in the Dave Rubin classical liberal, in the classical liberal sense of like fraternity and a culture around you that protects you, kind of like a modern society. I feel like socialism best delivers those things. That's kind of like a sociological concept, but it's delivered through economics. So I feel like left leaning economics is pretty good. Left leaning social policy is good, is pretty good. So we can get into like gender theory and gender identity, to like critical race theory and racism, to ableism, and so basically like almost like sociological ideas about how to look at the world differently, to I get being pro science. I feel like that's such a misused term. You know, everybody calls themselves pro science now, so you know I feel like any person is going to ask me, you know, well, what does that mean to you?
And a lot of scientists are bound by their budgets, or you know, the people who pay for their research. So you got to take that into account.
Yeah. So pretty much any of those, and okay. I think the weirdest topic is probably going to be gun rights, because I think a lot of people don't really see that as like a left leaning issue. But I think I would make the case that it's never really been popular on the left to try and take guns. I think that's more of like a neoliberal position, or like a center left, which is more left. Don't get me wrong. So it's like more of a left position than it is a right position, but it's still not a popular left position.
I
feel
see
like
that as like extremist left people, like fringe left.
Yeah, and when I say fringe left people, I would mean not left in ideology, like fringe as in like it's not popular. Like whenever, like when like Beto O'Rourke was talking about taking people's guns, and then he literally dropped out like 2 weeks later. And I remember people were freaking out. They were like, "Oh yeah, he's talking about they're going to come take your guns." I was like, "Yeah," and literally how well did that help him do against Bernie Sanders? It literally did zero for him. All of Bernie Sanders still carried momentum through. That literally got no one behind him. So, but you know, maybe that puts me at odds with a lot of left people who maybe aren't pro-gun. But you know, I'll just share my own personal views about that one, because I feel like I'm not too aware of how everyone else feels on that. But just in my experience, I don't see a bunch of lefties that really are jumping in mass behind to disarm themselves while they're dealing with a racist police state that they think is killing themselves all the time. Yeah, you know, I don't see a bunch of older black families that are talking about not getting guns right now. So yeah, just I'm more Killer Michael in that position.
Yeah, gotta let people have guns, but have the proper qualifications for attaining them. You know, and have a history. Like, you had a record, bruh.
And I feel like if you're not going to put actual power into taking guns away from the people who shouldn't have them, who have clearly been amassing them this entire time, then you're pretty much just asking for a unilateral disarmament, because they're not going to get rid of this stuff. So then it's just like, well, what do? You're already flooded with the thing. It's like you might as well just avoid this whole like getting rid of it in some kind of like general ban thing. I feel like the most like anti-gun in quotes thing that I'll say I'll look for is like a government buyback of guns. Then it's like, okay, so they're purchasing it back. That's fully voluntary. You know, that for me, that's about is anti-gun as I would get. Aside from just having like reasonable gun restrictions for like tanks and stuff like that. But yeah, that's
Yes, that was a great conversation. Thank you guys for coming and speaking and napping and
Napping, sleeping,
I appreciate you.
drinking.
we appreciate you too, man.
Please
Yeah.
like and subscribe and comment,
Go
Comment.
Lakers.
please.
Tell me how all my left positions are wrong, and or if you want to hear me talk about one of those left
He'll
positions,
position himself to the right.
then let me know, and I'll come in here and put Micah to sleep all over again. Put that ass to sleep, boy.
Mhm.
Anyway,
I was like, oh, this is the part where you guys surpass me. So
hey, shout out to that twinkle that you guys have in between you. It's been going this whole time. I don't know if it's a
Right
part of
here?
our CG. Yeah, you guys got it. It's like a star
light in
and
the back, yeah.
a little light in the back. Yeah, it just
It looks
it's
like a
coming
star?
through. Yeah, it's coming through as like a little star that's twinkling. So that's been great. I've
Wow.
really been
it's the
feeling that.
fly
It's kind of dope.
on Pence's head.
Hey, that's
It is-
Fly Sean.
It is the guide in our path forward into the future.
Facts.
Thank
Yes, sir.
Deuces.